What's going on? This is the Broke Genius, and welcome to the life of a broke genius. Welcome to my channel.
Yeah, man, TIP in this motherfucker with me, nigga. To the max with it. Rats. I count 6 shots. Listen at the bando. A nigga jury real metal like a piano. I went from rag to riches to a feature with tip. I went from smart car to a bitch with some smart lips. And that if an name in my hip lip. I'm going fishing with these little bitty strip dips. And my bankroll kind of big dip. Ooh. She gon' bring it on a big ship. White trail, no quick trip. I got tails in the alley, no tip. She didn't wanna have a good day. Smoke way more weed than the guy in LA. I hold them birds till next May. Damn, never let them fly away. I heard, this is what my nigga kept saying. Yeah, don't be blowing me up, nigga. I ain't getting up. If it ain't about the money, ain't no use to you ringing my line. Stop wasting my time. If it ain't about the money. Nah, I can hear what you say. I ain't finna do shit. If it ain't about the money, bitch, you can miss me with it. Bitch, nigga, miss me with it. Turn it. I pack in 11, I pack in 11. Boom. I ran in the gator, my shoes are deception. I shine like the reverend, I shoot at the reverend. Hey. Fans out the grocery store, they stuff with ladies. Hey. She try to make the extras, I tell on these bitches. Hey, when it's about time to pay, I'ma bill on these bitches. What you think we in the neighborhood about? Standing at the counter store with a pocket full of dough. I be damned if a nigga wipe the hood, ho. Learned that from UGK, back in pocket full of stone. Put your money down like a fucking hard boat. Playing with it, I'ma send them through your condo. But why flip the shit sick? Got Pavo. I'm doing it for black and yellow, free hardo. Head huncho, nigga, no tonto, nigga. I'm quick to put some bricks in the Bronco, nigga. Talk shit while I don't respond at all, nigga. No murder, no dough, no combo. Don't be blowing me up, nigga. I ain't getting up. If it ain't about the money, ain't no use to you ringing my line. Stop wasting my time. If it ain't about the money, nah, I can hear what you say. I ain't finna do shit. If it ain't about the money, bitch, you can miss me with it. Bitch, nigga, miss me with it. Turn it.
Yeah. So pretty much, man, that was T.I. pretty much that's my sentiments exactly. If it ain't about the money, pretty much don't bother me. Leave me the fuck alone. Um this yeah, this is something that this topic is something that I've been thinking about for a long time. And just like in business and also not so much business but even politics, you know, I noticed that popularity is something that people care more about than anything. uh People care about the fact that if a lot of people like you or tune into you more or less than whatever you actually have done. This is actually something that is people are talking about a lot, noticing more with the Democratic Party. You know, they always are running for office, trying to be popular amongst certain cultural groups, i.e., black people, and get into office and pass out crack pipes, and syringes, free crack pipes and syringes, and then it's back, election cycle, and it's the same thing. And it's like pretty much you can even say with the Republicans with Trump, you know, they actually play to poor white individuals that did not have basically any type of money whatsoever, but played on their heartstrings as far as some type of like uh, nationalism or whatever, or loss of nationalism or threat to nationalism. And as soon as you know um, pretty much Trump got in the office, they're still in the same trailer park they were in when Trump left office and got into office. They still in the same poor podunk town that they were living in before Trump was office and after he got out of office. And it's and people really pay, I think people really pay attention to popularity because um it's an emotional response. It's not so much it's like people falling into love with cults and groups and stuff like that. You know, you got all of these groups and stuff like that. And you know, the thing about it is, you know, this is my high school photo here. This was my senior year in high school, 1998. And I mean, basically, I was not unpopular. I was probably in the middle crowd. I mean, my senior year, I was pretty much more popular probably than any other year that I was in high school. Um, and the thing about it is, I didn't really have to try that hard. It really came pretty natural. I mean, well, I was over 6 feet when I was in high school. I was pretty much almost the same height I am now, about 6'2". You know, so it didn't really, I didn't really have to try that hard, like to be popular. You know, some people really try hard to be popular. Like I could even see people trying to on YouTube trying to really be popular. And it's you know, I get it, but the thing is that what the problem that I see with it is that a lot of people click up and try to ride other people's coattails. And you know, I listen in the shadows. You know, sometimes I comment on other people's live streams, but the thing is that I've heard people say that they're the originator of certain talking points. And you know, I come to terms in 2022. I was kind of bitter about that last year. I ain't gonna lie. I when I hear, it's just something about when you hear somebody that is probably more richer than you are, more successful than you are, not even so much successful, just you know, back to the money, like, you know, somebody that has a lot of money, right? I've actually caught people that are mega millionaires actually repeating my actual verbiage and talking points. And it kind of stings a little bit when, you know, you struggling to, you know, pay for, I don't know, basic shit or whatever. Like you really, you know, legit are really trying hard. And you know, you got people that's millionaires and stealing talking points and ideas and shit. It really is frustrating. But the thing is that I've come to terms that basically it doesn't matter for me to argue about what somebody said that I've said already, or something that I have even created. If I didn't copy, like I'm gonna talk about a real world example of what happened to me. And it was like, you know, I kind of figured it would. So you remember, you probably remember this commercial. It's called it's called Invent Help. Invent Help was basically a commercial that used to run on TV and probably, I'm sure, radio. And you call them and they'll help you get your invention off the ground. You got an idea, something that's, you know, something that's you know, never been invented before. You can contact them and they kind of help you through the process. So I did that a long time ago, like over 10 years ago. I don't even remember the exact year. But I went into one of their offices in somewhere, I think I want to say Oak Brook Terrace, Illinois. It was like somewhere in the western suburbs of Illinois in the Chicagoland area. And I had an idea for an inverter, a portable inverter that you can plug a regular AC power cord into the actual unit. And it was like the size of a portable hard drive for, like, let's just say a desk, smaller than a desktop hard drive, but around the size of a laptop portable hard drive. And I never forget. I mean, they were saying that the cost involved with producing that to get it off the ground, I think it was like $15,000, and then you had to pay monthly payments because it was like a total of like 40,000 or something. I don't remember the exact terms, but it was very, very expensive. And you best believe I was broker than I am now, and brokest of all broke back then. Like, I mean, I'm sure I was definitely struggling at that time. So it was just a situation where I just kind of didn't have it. And it was, I had to, walk away. But upon walking away, at the time, actually, I was talking to a chick that was a lawyer. She's a judge now. And she was like, man, you should just try to do this yourself. You shouldn't, go give your idea to somebody else and blah blah blah. Because also, even with them helping you, and then you still have to put the money up, they would get a percentage of the actual sales of the item that you invent. So let's just say if my item, actually, I went through the process, and it goes into prototype, and it goes actually into the production, and actually become on the sales floor, they would, every item that sold, they would get like 40%, I think, at the time, or it was either 30 or 40%. I believe it was about 40% of each item sold, right? So she was like, nah, you shouldn't do that. And I mean, um I never, I ended up I don't even think we ever even met face to face. I mean, she was living like in New Jersey, I believe. And I was in Chicago. We were supposed to meet and have like a rendezvous, but didn't transpire because one thing about me, I was cheap, and I was also broke as hell at the time. So I think she got kind of turned off by that fact that I didn't want to pay for a hotel. So I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, that actually happened. And then not too long ago, I want to say at least 5 years ago, between 5 years and now, no less than a couple years ago, I went inside Walmart, and I saw the actual device very similar to the idea that I had, that I was trying to basically get a prototype of, and actually a patent of, inside Walmart. Picked it up, observed it. Um, I was like kind of a little shocked, but I was like, you know what? I thought it was gonna happen, because see, here's the thing: when you actually if you don't file a patent, a copyright, a trademark, um, your idea is pretty much very much open to anybody that wants to take it, to steal it first from you. This happens in business. It actually is similar to how Bill Gates got started. He stole some ideas from Steve Jobs, and Steve Jobs didn't really like that, but it happens. It really pretty much is cutthroat. One thing about life is cutthroat. And people are like monkeys. My mom used to say, uh, monkey see, monkey do. One monkey sees something, and he sees a monkey getting a bunch of bananas. He's gonna try to do the same thing so he can get some bananas. I mean, it's just that simple. Like, you can't necessarily it's almost human nature, pretty much. So it's like I don't in 2022, I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna argue that I was the first person to um create the idea of hyenas, as far as in relation to women that are very masculine and domineering and stuff like that. I'm not going to argue with anybody. I'm not going to comment that no, I created that idea, that saying or whatever first. I'm not going to do that, because you see, the thing about it is, here's the real deal, Holyfield. I've been on YouTube since about 2008. My original channel, I basically deleted it. Then I came back on YouTube, and that was the first time that I really first time I was on YouTube in 2008. I didn't really have I didn't have any understanding of any manosphere. I didn't know about any manosphere. I didn't start kind of getting involved with people that talking about, failed relationships and women and shit like that, and red pill and all this other stuff, and MGTOW and all this other stuff. I didn't get involved or get immersed in that until the second channel that I created, which was called Solar Scholar. I think I had about 300 to 500 subscribers. I don't even remember. I had it for about a good year, maybe in a year and a half. And it was in 2016 is when I think I started the channel. 2016. From 2016 to 2017. And that is when I basically got immersed into people like Thug Titian, BGS Itmore. Actually, a friend of mine that I used to work with, I used to work at a school, for alternative school for children that had like behavior problems. I was assistant teacher, and guy I used to work with, he was a gym teacher there. He gave me the link to BGS Itmore, and I, got immersed into all that, as far as the manosphere, MGTOW, Itmore, and all this other stuff that you hear about, SYSBM. That is when I got immersed into all of that. That was about 2016. That was when because I was first starting a job. I was working at a company in Deerfield, Illinois. That pretty much they should remain nameless. But the thing is that basically that's when I started my second channel, and I was talking about hyenas. I was talking about animals and stuff. My animal hierarchy series that I have on my channel. If you really listen to my animal hierarchy series, you could tell I'm really in depth and entailed about it, because I literally was, it was the similar things that I had on that channel back in 2016. Well, I'll just be honest with you. I've talked about this before, but I don't really get into too much detail. I got into a situation where I just pretty much kind of lost my bearings, and I did some things that I didn't really I shouldn't have been doing. Basically I literally I got caught basically robbing a lady's purse, basically. Okay, 2017, actually 2018. And even before I did that, I literally deleted my channel. I deleted my channel, Solar Scholar. And I was, pretty much I was pretty much I was somebody that I was around basically a lot of the people you hear now, that are pretty much you say the founders of the Black Manosphere. Well, I was in the Lions Den with BGS Sitmore, 8 Hour Hangouts, and all of those people's there, including Kevin Samuels. Okay, Obsidian, Angry Man, um, a lot of the people that's been around for years, like they were all in that Lions Den, burning out 8 hours, and even sometimes even longer, talking about different topics. Now, the thing is that, like I say, I'm not gonna argue about, oh, I created the idea of hyena or anything like that, because the thing about it is I don't have any records to show that I did that, right? As far as I know, I came back with I actually already had this channel since I had the Solar Scholars channel. The Solar Scholar channel, I didn't show my face. It was just a avatar. But I always had this channel as like kind of a backup channel that I wanted to just talk about, financial topics and business and stuff like that. So, I mean, basically, like I said, I got arrested. I got booked, and I was in jail, and I got off on house arrest and stuff like that in 2018, like about June of 2018. I was on house arrest. I was, pretty much fighting the case, trying to get the charges reduced, but they booked me for a felony March 2020, right before the pandemic, where everybody pretty much went home, and basically they gave me probation for 2 years. So pretty much I got done with my probation today. I'm no longer on probation. I have a felony charge, and basically felony robbery. I'm not even sure I can get it expunged or what could be done about it. Um, I pretty much if you go back to the video I did when I was gone for a long time, and it says I'm back, that was probably the first probably month or two that I was pretty much released from the jail and put on house arrest. I was literally on house arrest when I did that video, in a lot of the other videos. But the thing is that, I'm the type of person, quote unquote, that I don't really like to be phony and fake. I'm really not a part of the YouTube popularity contest. I'm not. I'm not really a part of it. I have fairly a lot of subscribers. I've had this channel for about 4 or 5 years now. I haven't even looked. I don't keep dates or anniversaries or any of that. But I just pretty much don't like to be phony and fake. I'd rather put everything out there. I hear what's being talked about. Some people will call me a Pookie or a Ray Ray because, I mean, definitely I have a criminal record. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily disagree with anybody to say that, oh, I'm a Pookie or Ray Ray or whatever, because I have a legit criminal record. I work in corporate America. I work in IT still, but the thing is that, I don't like to cap and be phony, because here's the thing. Here's the reason why I don't really like to be fake or phony about my personal matters or affairs. The thing about the reason why I don't is because kind of to a certain extent I don't care. Like I don't really care if somebody even weaponize what my history is, or what I've done. I and then second, people don't really pay attention too much because I'm not part of the YouTube popularity contest. I'm not number 10, top 10, or top probably even 100 or even 1,000 of the YouTube popularity contest. So the thing is that people don't care. People don't care if you're some unpopular broke dude or whatever. Like nobody really cares. And it goes to the question of um one person that is part of the let's just say manosphere or black manosphere before I got basically booked for robbery back in 2018, that is a breakout star, a breakout, basically a almost damn near household name, but not really. It's still a lot of people that don't really know who Kevin Samuels is, but he's pretty much uh at this point some type of superstar. At this point you could say he's a celebrity at this point. I pretty much, my thoughts or whatever is like, it's kind of it's kind of like when I just kind of going back to high school. I went to high school with people that I went to high school with a group that actually was on they was pretty popular. They actually was on Soul Train. Went to high school with a group called Subway. They were a kind of a young R&B group. They made a couple hits and then pretty much kind of faded into oblivion. But they was pretty cool. They rode my they actually was kind of lived regular lives, and even in high school they rode the same bus that I rode in to go to high school, and it pretty cool. They ain't had no problems and whatnot. But the thing is that I never was a person that too much hated on somebody to the point where I hated on their success. Um, I went to high school with people that played in the NFL. Nobody that went to my high school made it to the NBA. Couple people played. I think they played probably professional baseball. Most of the guys that I went to high school with actually made it. A couple guys made it to the NFL. A couple of those guys are actually have been millionaires or already are millionaires. And I actually one of them I grew up with. He stayed about two doors down from me. I don't resent or um hate that guy either. He ain't give me a dime of his NFL earnings. I never asked for tickets. I really wasn't really that close to him like that, but we were pretty good friends. But the thing is that I don't fault him for um not giving me any tickets or reaching out to me or uh giving me a loan or anything like that, because that man did what he did. He was the one that was in the gym. He was the one that put all that work, and he was definitely he was pretty broke when he was in high school because his mom pretty much kind of divorced his dad, and ain't really had that much money. I mean, I remember he used to have holes in his shoes, and he was a all American athlete, and he was wearing his gym shoes till he had holes in them because he was playing basketball. I mean, I mean, it's like it is what it is. I mean, I say all that to say this, like, I really don't, it's a good thing that somebody took something. I don't care if they repeated it uh out of years of talking to somebody, or um collaborating or whatever with people for period of 3 or more years, and found a way to bust open the door. Somebody that I it was hop into live streams where other people were talking for 8 hours late into the night. Some it, you know if it wasn't somebody that had any success into that would have been a total waste of time. you know Guys just talking for 8 hours and longer about different problems in the black community and all kind of other stuff. And it if it wasn't somebody that had a successful um you know YouTube career or any success out of that would be a waste of time, I would think. I think that would be like a total travesty if someone actually didn't have any success. When I got out of jail and I saw basically a lot of people had more subscribers. Even I had more subscribers than I had in my channel, because I pretty much I posted some pretty good content. And the thing is, when I came out and I saw a lot of people had more subscribers, more people engaging and kind of became breakouts, little mini stars within themselves. I was like, wow, okay, cool, you know, um, amazing. Like, I mean, it just kind of goes to show. I think when you keep working on something, you keep churning out videos, you keep churning out content, you keep engaging with your audience or whatever. You can have some layers of success. You can be successful if you keep going at it. A lot of people gave up YouTube. A lot of people, kind of just stopped doing it. And some people died. Like, I mean, I used to listen to David Carroll, and not religiously, but I just kind of started listening to him like almost every other weekend or every weekend right before he died. Like, I was like, wow. I mean, um, this, I wonder why he didn't do any videos, and then it came out that he had passed away, and I'm like, damn, wow, you look up. I mean, you could be one of those persons. I mean, you got people that done killed themselves and shit and all kind of stuff. Like, I went to jail. I was gone for like a good at least 2 years. I was literally locked up. Then I was, placed on house arrest. So, I mean, it happens, but I didn't even have a channel at that time anyway. I mean, like I say, I had the channel that I had before. People knew who I was. I mean, and definitely, I just pretty much had the other channel. But the thing is that here's the thing when it comes to talking points and what people say and whatnot. If you listen to somebody long enough, this is just a psychological thing or a social thing or even a human thing. Um, if you listen to somebody too long, if you repeatedly listen to someone, you're going to start talking like them. Like, I'm very good with language, and I was my major in college was sociology, so I know quite a bit about the humanities and stuff like that. So I can tell if somebody's listening to somebody, um, like a particular YouTube creator or whatever, content creator, because I can listen to their voice and I can tell that they've been listening to them. Like, I can literally hear their voice sound like a particular content creator. It's just like that. Like, if whoever you listen to, you're going to start. You wouldn't even believe it, but you'll start talking like them. Like, you literally will start talking. You would start talking like them. And you'll be hypnotized to also even start taking their talking points. You'll just say something and be like, damn, I just repeated something that I heard somebody else say. Literally. Like you wouldn't even know it. Like, what's going on? You would literally like just through hypnosis of listening to somebody over and over and over and over and over again, you will repeat their talking points just by basis of you just listening to them, and it just slips out when you actually talk to somebody else. Now, here's the thing, and this is a critique as well from what I saw. Like I don't really listen to Kevin. Like when I say I was probably listening to him a lot, probably 2020, 2021, and then kind of just faded off because, you know, I've, like I said on my channel, I'm not necessarily too much worried about how women feel and what they think and all of that other shit. Like I'm just, I'm not really paying attention. It kind of gets repetitive to a certain extent, but it is still very much entertaining. I do watch some of the clips. The last clip that I saw, as far as what he was talking to some stripper or whatever, that I found that very, very tripped out, and intriguing. But the thing is that I did repeat him saying the possibility of sex, which is a book by Alan Roger Curry, and I did not see him. I didn't see that entire live stream where he started off saying that everything is fair game or whatever. I know I might be paraphrasing, but I mean, I didn't hear that. But the thing is that I don't know, man. I mean, a lot of times when people get on a higher level, they get kind of shell shocked. They get delusional, even to a sense, to not, kind of like remember that you was that same broke person that you look down upon. Like a lot of times people, they don't remember that broke person. When you go from being rags to riches, a lot of times people, they don't remember, they forget when they had rags. That actually happens quite often. It's something that is kind of like a psychological thing. It's a psychological, you could even say almost like a syndrome. You forget, you get a whole bunch of money. Like let's just say you go from making $30,000 a year to $300,000 a year. Well, you forget when you used to have to go pull up to Wendy's and get a 4 for $4 or a 5 for $5. You start ordering, 60-pound, 60 dollar steaks and 50-pound $50 lobster tails and shit like that. You forget that you used to have to. It's not that you wanted a 4 for $4. That's all you had. You had $10 in your account, and that 4 for $4 was your meal for the day. Like people forget when they actually didn't have that much money. Like it even happens to me. It goes like up and down, up and down. Like I'll just be like, damn, well, I'm gonna splurge today. And it's like, not remembering, damn boy, your ass couldn't even afford to damn near get some gas to go to work a couple weeks ago, but now you want to go get Chili's and it just happens. People forget, they forget the journey. They forget the struggles that they had in the journey. Once they get through the journey, they forget how hard it was. A lot of times I have to kind of like time travel and go back to the past and remember how rough things actually were so I can humble myself and get my bearings. Because yeah, I mean, a lot of times you forget, you know, what you did and the struggles that you overcame, because a lot of times it's just kind of difficult to even remember those struggles, you know. So it's it's a fair assessment that sometimes people could just, you know, throw people out, you know, because throw people in the trash because they, you know, forgot you know, how they were when they didn't really have that much or didn't have that much success, you know. You can even say to a certain degree, some people are they might be envious of someone, right? They might have been envious when they weren't the popular guy, right? They were envious of the popular guy that was popular at that time, and then they got more popularity, and they just want to kind of, you know, stick it to them. I mean, you know, these are all just kind of like, I mean, just kind of like maybe some type of analyzation of what I think, you know, is with the guy. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, you know, I don't necessarily I don't really care, you know. I pretty much mind my business. You know what I'm saying? Like I really don't I don't be focusing on somebody. I mean, it's a lot more people to focus on. It's a lot of people that are very, very successful that you can focus on. You know, I'm gonna leave things with this, and I'm gonna, you know, cut this short. What if Kevin Samuels was that same? What if Kevin Samuels was a nigga in Oklahoma doing car videos in a box Chevy, and barely had enough money to get his cell phone to have reception? Would it matter that he's talking about something about somebody else talking about, or is it because he is you know, kind of like a famous person at this point and have a lot of success financially? He you know, he got he just acquired a Lamborghini. You know, would you care if he was that same person, somebody just, you know, like I say, in Oklahoma, living in doing a live stream in a project parking lot with a box Chevy? Would it matter his talking points that he's got from somebody else? It's just a question that maybe somebody can answer for me, because I like I say, a lot of times people only care is because you're popular.
If you don't think money can buy happiness, you don't know where to shop. You can get money and then go save the world. You can get money and save the forests in Brazil. You make money and go save global warming. But without money, you can't save a fucking thing. Don't you understand? Don't the fucking idiots on YouTube understand that? Until you make some shekels, until you make some fucking coin, you can't help anybody. Because if love got the job done, you wouldn't all be fucked up.
Boy, just be yourself. If people don't like you if you're being yourself, fuck them.
What did your husband say about this? Did y'all discuss it?
No, I'm not married. I would not choose. I would not choose to date into something like that. I got choose to be single.
Okay.
I'm a PhD.
Okay, congratulations.
Hero for that.
Somebody, if you got someone, don't you love when I come around? What'd he say? Build you up, then I'll take